What if I told you that 90% of traders lose money, not because they can't predict the markets, but because they can't predict themselves? Close your eyes. Imagine checking your trading account and seeing zero. Your life savings, gone. Your dreams, shattered. Your family looking at you, asking, what happened? This was Mark Douglas in 1982, bankrupt, broken, standing in his empty house, Porsche repossessed, career destroyed. But what happened next revolutionized trading psychology forever. Imagine if you could see the market without fear clouding your vision, if every trade became a clear reflection of probability, not emotion. Within the next hour, you'll master the mental framework that separates the 10% who consistently profit from the 90% who consistently donate their money to the markets. Mark Douglas didn't just write The Disciplined Trader, he lived it. From bankruptcy to becoming one of the most sought-after trading psychologists in the world, training floor traders in Chicago and institutional investors globally. His book has sold over 500,000 copies and transformed countless trading careers. But here's what most people miss. Warning, this is not for traders who believe the markets owe them something. If you're looking for a magic indicator or the perfect system, close this video now. This is only for those ready to confront the most challenging opponent in trading, themselves. The dangerous illusion of easy money. Trading looks so simple that it creates a psychological trap that catches almost everyone. Here's the mind-bending paradox. Trading appears to be the easiest way to make money, yet it's actually one of the hardest endeavors you could ever undertake. This illusion is so powerful, it's destroyed more fortunes than any market crash. Picture this. Mark Douglas, standing in the luxurious Merrill Lynch office at the Chicago Board of Trade. 38 account executives surround him, all sharp, all confident. He asks a simple question. How many of your clients are making money? Silence. Not one client, not a single profitable trader among hundreds of accounts. The typical client, wiped out within 4 months. But here's where it gets fascinating. Douglas goes down to the trading floor, the legendary pits where fortunes are made and lost in seconds. Surely here, among the warriors of capitalism, he'll find the winners. What he discovers shocks him to his core. I watched a trader make $3,000 in the first hour, Douglas recalls. By lunch, he'd given it all back plus another $2,000. And this happened every single day. The same trader, the same pattern, the same result. Like a gambler who can't leave the casino, except the casino is in his mind. But here's what nobody talks about. Why trading looks so easy. Think about it. You're sitting in your comfortable chair, no heavy lifting, no difficult customers, no boss breathing down your neck, just you, your computer, and infinite opportunity. Click a button, make $1,000. Click another, make $5,000. One trader told Douglas, I made $50,000 in my pajamas last Tuesday. How hard can it be? 6 months later, account blown, dreams destroyed. Another statistic. What Douglas discovered in that moment would revolutionize trading psychology forever. The markets are not your enemy. Your untrained mind is. The very psychological tools that make you successful in business, relationships, and life become weapons of self-destruction in the markets. Think about it. In life, persistence pays off. In trading, persistence in a losing trade leads to bankruptcy. In life, optimism opens doors. In trading, blind optimism closes accounts. In life, being right matters. In trading, being right is irrelevant if you're broke. In life, hard work equals rewards. In trading, you can work 80 hours analyzing charts and lose everything in 8 seconds. In life, confidence builds success. In trading, overconfidence builds catastrophic losses. Have you ever held on to a losing trade, absolutely convinced it would turn around? Have you ever taken profits too early, terrified the market would steal them back? Have you ever felt like the market was personally attacking you? If you just nodded your head, you've experienced exactly what Douglas discovered. The market doesn't do anything to you. You do everything to yourself. But knowing this creates an even bigger problem, one that destroyed a trader I knew who had everything figured out, except for one fatal blind spot that cost him $3 million in a single day. The market's most brutal truth. The market can stay irrational longer than you can stay solvent. But what if I told you the market is never irrational? The market is always right. Always. This isn't philosophy, it's physics. Every price, every moment represents the perfect equilibrium of all traders' beliefs about the future. Fighting this truth is like fighting gravity. Douglas shares a story that changed his perspective forever. A penny at the bottom of a urinal in the Chicago Mercantile Exchange bathroom. A trader warns him urgently, "Don't use that one. Money in a urinal is bad luck." In that moment, Douglas saw it clearly. Traders creating elaborate superstitions, giving their power away to pennies and lucky ties because they couldn't accept one simple truth. They alone were responsible for their results. Think about the absurdity. Grown men managing millions, afraid of a penny in a bathroom. But here's the thing. That penny had more power over their trading than their analysis. Why? Because they gave it that power. But it goes deeper. Douglas discovered traders with lucky underwear. I'm not joking. One trader wore the same unwashed boxers for 3 weeks during a winning streak. When his wife finally forced him to change, lost $300,000 the next day, blamed the clean underwear. Another trader could only trade successfully while eating Chinese food, specifically beef lo mein from one particular restaurant. The day they closed, he stopped trading for a month, paralyzed without his edge. Stop, right now. What's your trading superstition? What ritual do you perform? What excuse do you have ready when trades go wrong? The market manipulators, the algorithms, the news. Here's the truth bomb. The market doesn't care about your mortgage. It doesn't know about your dreams of financial freedom. It has no agenda except to facilitate trade just between those who believe prices will rise and those who believe they'll fall. Let me paint you a picture of how the market really works. Right now, as you watch this, millions of traders are staring at the same charts you trade. In New York, a hedge fund manager is about to dump $1 billion worth of positions because his wife just served him divorce papers. In Tokyo, a pension fund is buying aggressively because they need to meet quarterly targets. In London, a 22-year-old kid trading his trust fund is revenge trading after yesterday's loss. All these people, all these emotions, all these agendas, they create the price you see on your screen. The market isn't rational or irrational. It's the sum total of all human emotions expressed through buy and sell orders. Here's what changes everything. The market isn't doing anything to you. It's simply reflecting back what's already inside you. Your fears, your greed, your hesitation. The market is a perfect mirror of your mental state. Douglas discovered that charts don't just show price movement. They show the collective psychology of every trader participating. And if you can read that psychology, including your own, you can finally trade with clarity. When was the last time you blamed the market for a loss? The market took my money, the market went against me, the market was manipulated. What if none of that was true? What if the market simply revealed what you refuse to see about yourself? I bet you've never thought about it this way. Every losing trade is the market holding up a mirror, showing you exactly where your psychology needs work. That loss isn't punishment. It's tuition for the most important education of your life. The 5 stages of trader evolution. Every trader goes through the same psychological journey. Most just never make it past stage 2. Douglas identified 5 distinct stages every trader must pass through. Like a butterfly's metamorphosis, you can't skip stages. You can only move through them faster by understanding what's really happening in your mind. Stage 1. The innocent. You see others making money. It looks easy. You think, how hard can it be? Buy low, sell high. Your confidence comes from ignorance, not knowledge. You're like a tourist in Times Square, wallet hanging out, completely unaware of the danger. I remember my first trade, Apple stock. Bought at 100, sold at 102s. $200 profit in 10 minutes. I calculated, if I could do this 3 times a day, 5 days a week, I'd make $156,000 a year. I quit my job the next week. 3 months later, living in my car. True story from one of Douglas's clients. The innocent stage is beautiful in its optimism and brutal in its consequences. Stage 2. The awakening reality hits like a sledgehammer. Losses pile up. The market seems personally attacking you. Your brilliant analysis fails. Your sure thing trades lose. You realize with horror, you don't know what you don't know. Most traders quit here, convinced the game is rigged. This is when the conspiracy theories start. It's the market makers. It's the algorithms. It's insider trading. Anything but the truth. You simply don't know how to trade. One trader told Douglas, "I felt like I was in the twilight zone. Everything I touched turned to losses. Buy signals turned into crashes. Sell signals turned into rallies. It was like the market could read my mind and do the opposite." Stage 3. The Seeker. You become a trading education junkie. New system every week. Indicators multiplying like rabbits on your charts. You've got more lines than a conspiracy theorist's bulletin board. You're searching for the holy grail outside when the answer is inside. This stage can last years, even decades. Douglas met a trader with 47 monitors. 47, each screen showing different indicators, time frames, markets. His desk looked like NASA mission control. His results? Consistent losses. Why? Because he was looking for certainty in a game of probabilities. The Seeker's library is a graveyard of dreams. Courses half-watched, books half-read, systems half-tested, always looking for the next shiny object, the next guru, the next secret. Stage 4. The Breakthrough. The shocking realization. The problem isn't your system, it's you. Your psychology is sabotaging every good setup. You could have the perfect system and still lose because fear makes you hesitate, greed makes you overtrade, and ego makes you revenge trade. The real work begins. This is the dark night of the trader's soul. You realize every loss, every missed opportunity, every blown account. It was all you. The market was just the mirror. This realization breaks most traders, but for the few who push through. Stage 5. The Master. You trade without fear because you've accepted the market's uncertainty. Losses don't sting because ego isn't involved. Profits don't intoxicate because they're expected outcomes of probability. You've become what Douglas calls available, ready to flow with whatever the market presents. The master trader is like water, taking the shape of whatever container the market provides. No forcing, no fighting, just flowing. Which stage are you in right now? Be honest. Are you still searching for the perfect system? Still blaming the markets? Or are you ready to do the real work? If you're stuck in stage 3, downloading your 15th trading system this year, I've got news for you. You're rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic. The problem isn't your tools, it's the hand that wields them. Let me tell you about Sarah, a stage 3 trader for 8 years. 8 years. She spent over $50,000 on courses, mentorships, and systems. Her husband threatened divorce. Her kids asked why mommy was always stressed. One day, she had an epiphany. She was in the shower, where all great epiphanies happen, and realized, I've been looking for someone else to save me from myself. That day, she threw away all her indicators except one, started journaling her emotions before, during, and after each trade. Within 6 months, she was consistently profitable. Not because she found a better system, because she found herself, the hidden forces, controlling your trades. Your childhood beliefs about money are sabotaging your trades right now, and you don't even know it. Every trader carries invisible psychological software, programs installed in childhood about money, success, and self-worth. These programs run automatically, making decisions milliseconds before your conscious mind even realizes what's happening. The elevator doors opened on the 42nd floor. James stepped out, Armani suit, Rolex gleaming, the picture of success. Net worth, $8 million. But Douglas noticed something. James's hands were shaking. "I can't do it anymore," James whispered. "Every time I'm up $500, I hear my father's voice. Who do you think you are? You're nothing special, just a working-class kid playing with rich people's money." Douglas watched the security footage of James's trades. It was eerie, like watching a man possessed. Up $500, $600, his finger hovering over the exit button. 700, click, out, every single time. $8 million in the bank, but in his mind, he was still that 6-year-old boy in a Detroit factory town, being told he didn't deserve success. During their sessions, the truth emerged. His father, a factory worker, had beaten into him. People like us don't deserve wealth. Money is for the corrupt. Better to be poor and honest than rich and rotten. But here's where it gets even more insane. James's brother, a successful doctor, no trading issues, same father, same messages, different interpretation. The brother heard, "Be successful in a respectable profession." James heard, "Don't be successful at all." Pause. Think about your own childhood. What did you learn about money? Was it, money doesn't grow on trees, scarcity programming. Rich people are greedy, success is immoral. We can't afford that, limitation mindset. Money is the root of all evil, wealth is dangerous. Every time his profits grew, his subconscious would sabotage. It wasn't the market taking his money, it was his own mind, protecting him from becoming what his father taught him to despise. Your trading account is a perfect reflection of your self-worth, not your analysis skills, not your market knowledge, your deep unconscious belief about what you deserve. Douglas discovered traders have an internal thermostat. Just like room temperature, they'll unconsciously adjust their behavior to maintain their comfort level. Make too much, give it back. Lose too much, trade brilliantly until you're back to normal. What's your financial thermostat set to? What's the account balance where you start feeling uncomfortable? Too high feels dangerous. Too low feels shameful. That narrow band in between, that's your prison. Here's the kicker. You could have a PhD in technical analysis, memorize every candlestick pattern, master every indicator, and still lose consistently if your inner thermostat is set to broke. One female trader Douglas worked with discovered her thermostat was set to exactly her father's salary. Never more, never less. For 20 years, across different careers, different cities, different relationships, always the same income, until she recognized the pattern and broke it. Interactive moment. Grab your phone, open your calculator, add up your trading account balance plus your savings. Now divide by 2. That number, how does it make you feel? Comfortable? Anxious? That feeling is your thermostat talking. Fear, the invisible puppet master. Fear in trading doesn't protect you. It creates exactly what you're trying to avoid. Fear is psychological fire. It consumes everything it touches. In trading, fear doesn't just cloud judgment. It literally creates the losses you're desperately trying to prevent. Douglas observed a pattern so consistent, it defied logic. Watch this mental movie. I guarantee you've starred in it. A trader enters a position. Price moves against him 1 tick, 2 ticks. Fear whispers, you're wrong. 3 ticks. Fear shouts, get out. But he freezes, can't admit the loss. The internal dialogue begins. It's just a pullback. The trend is still intact. Big money is accumulating. Weak hands are being shaken out. 4 ticks, 5, 6. The pain builds. He starts bargaining with the market. Just come back to break even. I swear I'll get out. 10 ticks, 15. The loss is now bigger than 5 trades worth of profits. His chest tightens. Breathing becomes shallow. Finally, at maximum pain, he exits. Destroyed, demoralized. The market immediately reverses, goes profitable without him. He screams at his monitor, throws his mouse. His wife asks what's wrong. Nothing, he yells as his world crumbles. Next trade, he's so traumatized, he exits at the first tick of profit. The market runs 50 ticks in his direction, without him. One trader told Douglas, "It's like I'm possessed. I watch myself doing exactly what I swore I wouldn't do, powerless to stop." But here's the twist. The fear wasn't protecting him from losses. The fear was the cause of the losses. Stop the video. I'm serious. Stop it right now and do this exercise. Remember your last losing trade, not the market action, your physical sensations. Where did you feel the fear? Chest, stomach, throat? That physical sensation. That's your early warning system. When you feel it next time, you'll know. Fear is driving, not analysis. Fear operates through a diabolic mechanism. It narrows your perception to focus only on what you're afraid of. Like a driver staring at the tree he's trying to avoid, you steer directly into your fears. Afraid of losses? You'll see only information confirming you're wrong, missing all signals the trade could work. Afraid of missing profits? You'll exit too early, before the real move begins. But here's what's really happening in your brain. When you perceive a threat, like a trade going against you, your amygdala hijacks your prefrontal cortex. You literally lose the ability to think rationally. Your IQ drops 20-30 points. You become a caveman with a trading account. What's your deepest trading fear? Losing everything? Being wrong? Missing the big move? That fear isn't protecting you, it's programming your failure. Can you feel how it hijacks your mind in the heat of a trade? The market is like a giant biofeedback machine. Whatever you fear, it reflects back to you, amplified. Fear losing? You'll lose. Fear missing out, you'll miss out. It's not mystical, it's mechanical. Douglas discovered something profound. Confident traders create winning trades not because they're always right, but because they trade without fear. Their clarity allows them to see opportunities invisible to fearful traders. Professional traders discovered something amateurs can't accept. Being right is irrelevant. The market isn't about being right. It's about probabilities. This shift in thinking is so profound, it literally rewires your brain's response to uncertainty. Douglas watched a professional trader take 20 losses in a row. 20? Any normal person would be destroyed. This trader, calm as a meditation master. How? Douglas asked. The trader smiled. I'm not trading to be right. I'm trading to execute probabilities. Each loss just means I'm closer to the wins. It's just math. He opened his trading journal. Yes, 20 losses straight. Average loss, $500. Total down, $10,000. Then came 5 wins. Average win, $4,000. Net profit, $10,000. Over 1,000 trades, his win rate was only 35%. His account, up 400% annually. Look, he said, flipping through pages of meticulous records. I'm not a trader, I'm a casino. Every trade is just another customer walking through my doors. Some win, most lose. But the house always wins in the end. The amateur needs to be right. The professional needs only to execute. Think about this. In Vegas, when someone hits the jackpot, does the casino owner panic? Does he run down to the floor screaming, "The system is rigged. This shouldn't happen"? No. He smiles, takes a photo with the winner, knowing probability ensures profits. You want to know the difference between amateur and professional thinking? Watch this. Amateur sees a setup. This has to work. Look at all these confirmations. Moving averages aligned, RSI oversold, support holding. It can't fail. Professional sees the same setup. This has a 65% probability of working based on 1,000 similar setups. I'll risk 1% to make 3%. Over 100 trades, I'll be profitable. One is predicting. The other is playing probabilities. Mind-blowing truth. You can be wrong 65% of the time and still be wildly profitable. You can be right 80% of the time and go bankrupt. It's not about the win rate, it's about the expectancy equation. Let me break this down with real numbers. Trader, 80% win rate. Wins, $100 average losses, $500 average. 100 trades, 80 wins, $100, 8,020 losses, $500, 10,000 net negative. $2,000. Trader B, 35% win rate. Wins, 1,000 average, losses, $200 average. 100 trades, 35 wins, $1,000, 35,065 losses, $213,000 net, positive $22,000. Who would you rather be? Douglas discovered professionals think in distributions. They know that any single trade is meaningless, just statistical noise. But over 20, 50, 100 trades, the edge plays out with mathematical certainty. How attached are you to being right? Do you take losses personally? Do wins make you feel superior? If yes, you're trading from ego, not probability. And ego always loses to math. Here's what amateurs never understand. The market is a random distribution of wins and losses for any given edge. You never know which trade will win or lose, but you don't need to know. You just need to execute every signal, knowing probability handles the rest. Exercise. Next 20 trades, track only this. Did I follow my rules? Yes, no. That's it. Not profit loss, not right wrong. Just, did I execute? When you stop caring about individual outcomes and start caring about process, you've graduated from amateur to professional thinking. The discipline of self-trust. The market can't hurt you. Only your inability to respond appropriately can. Self-trust in trading isn't confidence. It's the absolute certainty you'll follow your rules, regardless of temptation or fear. It's the difference between knowing the path and walking the path. Douglas shares his own transformation. After losing everything, something miraculous happened. With nothing left to lose, fear evaporated. For the first time, he could see the market clearly. It was like someone removed blinders I didn't know existed. Patterns jumped out. Opportunities revealed themselves. The market hadn't changed, I had. But here's the crucial part. Seeing clearly wasn't enough. He had to trust himself to act on what he saw, immediately, without hesitation. That trust only came through disciplined practice. 1 rule, 1 week, perfect execution. 2 rules, 2 weeks, perfect execution. 3 rules, a month, perfect execution. He started with the simplest rule imaginable. I will place my stop-loss order immediately after entry. That's it. Not where to place it, that would come later. Just the act of placing it. First day, forgot twice, remembered 3 times. Second day, forgot once. Third day, perfect. Fourth day, perfect, but almost moved it. Hand literally hovering over the mouse. Fifth day, the urge to move it was overwhelming. He stood up, walked away, came back. Stop still in place. By week 2, placing stops was automatic, like putting on a seatbelt. No thought required. Then he added Rule 2. I will only trade 1 setup pattern. The progression was slow, painful, but each promise kept to himself built power. Each temptation resisted forged strength. Not the strength to predict markets, the strength to execute flawlessly, regardless of prediction. Self-trust is built through promises kept to yourself. Every time you follow your rules, especially when you don't want to, you build power. Every time you break them, especially when you rationalize why, you destroy it. Douglas discovered, the market rewards consistency, not perfection. Better to follow a mediocre system flawlessly than a perfect system sporadically. Let me tell you about Maria, a brilliant analyst. She could predict market moves with uncanny accuracy. Her calls were legendary in her trading room. One problem, she couldn't pull the trigger on her own trades. She'd see the setup forming, call it out to others, watch them profit. While she sat paralyzed, cursor hovering over the buy button, sweat dripping, heart racing. Why? Because knowing and trusting are different games. She knew the setup. She didn't trust herself to manage whatever happened next. When did you last break your trading rules? What excuse did you use? Just this once. This time is different. I can feel it. Each broken promise weakens your psychological edge. Trading without self-trust is like driving with your eyes closed. You might know the road perfectly, but if you can't trust yourself to keep your eyes open, knowledge is worthless. Brutal truth. Most traders would rather lose money following someone else's system than make money following their own rules. Why? Because then they don't have to trust themselves. They can blame the system, the guru, the market, anyone but themselves. Reading the mind of the market. Every price movement tells a story of human fear and greed. But most traders can't read the language. The market is a living psychological entity, the sum total of all traders' hopes, fears, and beliefs made visible through price. Learn to read this psychology, and you'll anticipate moves before they happen. Douglas takes us inside the trading pit, bulls and bears locked in eternal combat. But watch closely. There's a rhythm, a pattern to the chaos. When buyers have to pay more and more to get filled, they're revealing desperation. When sellers dump at any price, they're showing capitulation. These aren't random moves, they're psychological inevitabilities. Picture the market as a giant tug of war. When one side pulls harder, price moves their direction. But here's what's fascinating. You can see when one side is getting tired before they let go of the rope. Watch any major market top. The same drama unfolds every time. First, enthusiasm. Price rises steadily. Everyone's a genius. Your Uber driver is giving stock tips. Your grandmother is trading crypto. Financial media screams, new paradigm. Then, the subtle shift. Volume decreases on rallies, increases on pullbacks, like a party where people start checking their watches. The smart money. They're not announcing their exit. They're distributing shares to eager buyers, piece by piece. Next comes the denial phase. Small decline, healthy correction, bigger decline, buying opportunity. The self-help mantras begin. Diamond hands, hodl, buy the dip. But watch the price action. Each rally is weaker, like a dying man's pulse. The market is screaming the truth, but nobody wants to hear it. Then, the break. Support shatters. Stop losses trigger in cascades. Margin calls create forced selling. Panic spreads like wildfire through a dry forest. Everyone rushes for the same exit door. At the bottom, maximum despair. Financial media proclaims the death of markets. The same grandmother who was trading crypto swears off investing forever. And quietly, the smart money starts accumulating. The market's greatest secret. It moves in patterns because human psychology is predictable under stress. Fear and greed create recurring formations as reliable as ocean tides. Douglas studied thousands of hours of price action and discovered something profound. The market actually telegraphs its intentions, not through price alone, but through the relationship between price, volume, and time. Here's what he found. When price rises on decreasing volume, faster exhaustion ahead. When price falls on increasing volume, capitulation near. When price goes nowhere on heavy volume, major move brewing. When price moves fast on light volume, rare trap being set. But here's the catch. You can only see these patterns clearly when you're not caught in them yourself. The fearful trader sees danger everywhere. The greedy trader sees only opportunity. The disciplined trader sees what is. Can you read the market's psychology, or does your own psychology blind you? When prices rise, do you see opportunity or feel FOMO? When they fall, do you see value or feel panic? Real time. Exercise. Pull up any chart right now. Don't look at indicators, just price and volume. Ask yourself, who's more desperate here, buyers or sellers? Where are the trapped traders? What would have to happen for maximum pain? The market usually moves toward maximum pain because that's where the most stops are. It's not manipulation, it's aggregated human behavior. The market speaks in a language of collective emotion. Most traders are too busy screaming their own fears to hear what it's saying. The zone, trading in flow. State elite traders describe moments where time slows, the market speaks clearly, and every decision flows perfectly. Douglas discovered traders could enter a state of consciousness where ego dissolves, fear vanishes, and pure awareness remains. In this state, trading becomes effortless. Profits flow naturally. A veteran trader described it to Douglas. Sometimes, I'm not even thinking. My hand moves to execute before my conscious mind processes why. Later I look back and every trade was perfect. It's like the market and I became one. This isn't mysticism, it's neuroscience. When the analytical mind quiets, the intuitive mind awakens. Pattern recognition accelerates. Reaction time approaches zero. Performance becomes superhuman. But here's the paradox. You can't think your way into the zone. The harder you try, the further it recedes. It's like trying to fall asleep. The effort itself prevents the outcome. The zone has specific neurological markers. Brainwaves shift from beta, active thinking, to alpha, theta, flow state. Stress hormones drop to near zero. Time perception alters. Hours feel like minutes. Self-consciousness disappears. No internal dialogue. Action and awareness merge. You become the trade. Michael Jordan called it being in the moment. Wayne Gretzky said he didn't go where the puck was, but where it was going to be. Trading masters describe the same phenomenon, knowing without thinking. Like a jazz musician who no longer thinks about notes, the trader transcends technique. The 1,000 hours of screen time, the countless losses and wins, all synthesize into pure knowing. But here's what fascinated Douglas. This state only emerged after years of disciplined practice. You can't skip the fundamentals and jump to flow. The zone is earned, not given. The zone requires 3 conditions. Complete acceptance of market uncertainty. No need to predict, only to respond. Absolute self-trust. No hesitation between perception and action. Present moment awareness. No past regrets polluting the now. No future anxieties clouding clarity. When these align, magic happens. You stop trading the market and start flowing with it. You become like water, taking the shape of whatever container the market provides. Douglas worked with a trader who accessed the zone regularly. His description, it's like the market slows down. I can see the order flow before it happens. Not psychic, just patterns becoming visible that were always there. Like those 3D pictures. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. But here's the danger. The zone is fragile. One thought about money, one ego judgment, one fear, and you're ejected back to normal consciousness. This is why mental discipline is crucial. Not to enter the zone, but to maintain it. Have you ever experienced moments of trading clarity where everything clicked? That's a glimpse of your potential. What would change if you could access that state at will? Most traders spend their careers trying to predict the market's next move. Masters learn to become so present, so aware, that they don't need to predict. They respond faster than thought. Practical steps to the zone. Master basics until they're unconscious. Develop pre-trade rituals to quiet the mind. Focus on process, not outcomes. Practice meditation to build present moment awareness. Accept that the zone comes when you stop seeking it. Remember, the zone isn't a place you go. It's what remains when you stop interfering with your natural ability to perceive and respond. The paradox of control. The more you try to control the market, the more it controls you. Trading's greatest paradox. You must give up control to gain control. Accept powerlessness over the market to discover your true power, the ability to control yourself. Douglas observed two traders watching the same setup. Both saw a high probability short opportunity. The market moved against them one tick. Trader A panics. It should be dropping. His mind races. This can't be happening. The analysis was perfect. The setup was textbook. He doubles down, then triples. The market rises 5 more ticks. His face turns red. Veins bulge. This is manipulation. He pounds his desk. Margin call. Account destroyed. Dreams shattered. Later, Douglas found his trading journal. The entry. Market makers stopped me out before the real move. Rigged game. We'll get revenge tomorrow. Trader B remains calm. Interesting. Buyers are stronger than expected. No emotion, no attachment. He exits with minimal loss. Waits. Watches. The market reveals its true intention. A fake out before the real move. It reverses violently. He re-enters short. Captures the entire move. Another day, another profit. His journal entry. Initial thesis wrong. Market provided better entry. Grateful for the lesson. Same market, same setup. Opposite outcomes. The difference? Trader A demanded the market conform to his analysis. Trader B adapted to what the market revealed. Here's what's really happening. When you try to control the market, you're like King Canute commanding the tides to stop. The market, like the ocean, obeys its own laws, not your commands. But it goes deeper. The need to control comes from fear. Fear of being wrong, fear of losing, fear of looking foolish. That fear creates the very thing you're trying to avoid. You analyze perfectly, seeking control through prediction. Market goes against you. Reality conflicts with prediction. You refuse to accept denial of powerlessness. You add to losing position, attempting to force control. Market continues against you. Reality intensifies. You finally capitulate at maximum loss, forced acceptance. You can't control the wind, but you can adjust your sails. The market is the wind, infinite, powerful, indifferent. Your trading decisions are your sails, the only thing under your command. Douglas taught, stop trying to be right about the market. Start being effective in the market. These are completely different games. One is about ego, proving your intelligence, your worth, your superiority. The other is about results, adapting, flowing, profiting. One is about ego, proving your intelligence, your worth, your superiority. The other is about results, adapting, flowing, profiting. Where do you still try to control the uncontrollable? Do you argue with price action, blame manipulation, fight the tape? Every moment spent demanding the market be different is a moment lost from adapting to what is. Trading is like surfing. You don't control the waves. You can't make them bigger or smaller, faster or slower. But master surfers don't fight the ocean. They become one with it, using its power to create art. The paradox deepens. When you give up control, you gain clarity. When you stop demanding, you start seeing. When you accept what is, you can respond to what's becoming. Transformational moment. Next time you're in a trade, ask yourself, am I trying to control the market or am I controlling myself? The first leads to destruction. The second leads to mastery. Intuition, the master trader's edge. After mastering all the rules, elite traders break them, guided by something beyond analysis. Beyond technical analysis, beyond fundamental analysis, lies a third way of knowing: intuition. Douglas worked with a trader who defied explanation. No complex systems, no sophisticated analysis. Just, I feel it's going up or time to get out. His results, spectacular, consistent, impossible. How do you know? Douglas pressed. The trader paused, searching for words to describe the indescribable. I don't know how I know. I just know. Like knowing it's going to rain before clouds appear. The market speaks, but not in words. It's more like music, and sometimes I hear a note that doesn't belong. He continued, "You know when you meet someone and instantly know they're lying? You can't point to what exactly. Their words make sense. But something's off. That's how I trade. The market has tells, micro-expressions. After 20 years, I feel them." Investigation revealed the truth. This trader had internalized thousands of patterns over decades. His unconscious mind processed multiple variables simultaneously, delivering conclusions as feelings. Price action, volume, time of day, news flow, option flows, intermarket relationships, all synthesized instantly into a knowing that transcended conscious analysis. But here's what most people miss. This wasn't a gift. It was earned through decades of conscious practice. Like a chess grandmaster who sees 20 moves ahead, he paid his dues and focused attention. True intuition emerges only after mastery of fundamentals. It's not avoiding the work, it's transcending it. Like a concert pianist who no longer thinks about notes, the music flows through them. Douglas discovered the pathway to intuition. Master the basics until they're unconscious. Accumulate massive pattern recognition. Quiet the analytical mind through meditation. Learn to distinguish intuition from emotion. Trust the subtle signals. But here's the key. Intuition only speaks clearly when fear is absent. Fear creates static, distorting the signal. This is why inner work precedes intuitive trading. One trader described it perfectly. Intuition is like a whisper in a noisy room. Fear, greed, hope, they're all shouting. You have to quiet the noise to hear the whisper. Do you trust your gut feelings, or do you second-guess them? Can you distinguish between true intuition and emotional impulse? The difference determines whether you trade with wisdom or wishful thinking. Here's how to tell the difference. Intuition feels calm, centered, clear. Emotion feels urgent, desperate, clouded. Intuition whispers once and goes quiet. Emotion screams repeatedly, demanding action. Intuition often suggests patience. Emotion usually demands immediate action. Most traders will never reach this level because they can't quiet their minds enough to hear intuition's whisper. They're too busy shouting their opinions at the market to hear what it's trying to tell them. Develop your intuition. After each trading session, write down any hunches you had but didn't act on. Track their accuracy. You'll be shocked how often your intuition was right while your analysis was wrong. Becoming the disciplined trader. Trading mastery isn't about conquering the market. It's about conquering yourself. The disciplined trader represents the final evolution. Someone who has integrated all lessons into a seamless way of being. They don't use techniques, they embody principles. Douglas describes the transformation. You wake up one day and realize you're not the same person who started this journey. The market looks different because you see through different eyes. What once terrified now fascinates. What once confused now makes perfect sense. But the journey to discipline is brutal. It requires you to die to who you were to become who you must be. Every cherished belief about money, success, and self-worth must be examined and often discarded. The disciplined trader operates from a different reality. Losses don't sting because ego isn't involved, just probabilities playing out. Profits don't intoxicate because they're expected outcomes. Math, not magic. Analysis serves awareness, not prediction. Seeing what is, not what should be. Execution flows from trust, not hope. Acting on edge, not emotion. Results reflect inner development, not market conditions. The scoreboard of consciousness. They've transcended the need to be right, the fear of being wrong, the addiction to action, the paralysis of analysis. They've become what Douglas calls available, ready for whatever the market presents. Watch a disciplined trader work. No drama, no excitement, no fear. They might as well be folding laundry. Every action deliberate, every decision clear, every outcome accepted. One master trader told Douglas, "I don't trade anymore. Trading happens through me. I'm just the vehicle. My job is to stay out of the way. This isn't passive, it's the highest form of active, so practiced that it appears effortless, like Michael Jordan making impossible shots look easy." The thousands of hours of practice invisible in the moment of execution, the final secret. Your trading account is a mirror of your mental account. Deposit wisdom, withdraw profits. Deposit fear, withdraw losses. The market is just the mechanism. You are both the depositor and beneficiary. Douglas revealed what few understand. Successful trading is a spiritual practice disguised as a financial endeavor. It demands you face every shadow, heal every wound, transcend every limitation. Every fear must be confronted, every childhood trauma resolved, every limiting belief transcended. The market won't let you hide. It reflects your inner state with mathematical precision. Who will you become on this journey? Not just as a trader, but as a human being? Because make no mistake, you cannot master the markets without mastering yourself. They are the same challenge. The trader you become is far more valuable than the money you make. Money can be lost in a day. The person you become through this journey, that transformation is yours forever. Look back at who you were when you started trading. The naive optimism, the crushing defeats, the desperate searching, the slow awakening. Every loss was tuition. Every pain was teaching. Every failure was redirecting you toward truth. The disciplined trader doesn't fight this process. They embrace it. Each loss deepens wisdom. Each mistake refines technique. Each fear confronted expands freedom. In the end, trading mastery is very simple. Know yourself, accept yourself, trust yourself. Simple, but not easy. It requires everything you have, but it gives back everything you need. Your trading transformation starts now. You've just discovered the 12 crucial lessons that separate the 10% who succeed from the 90% who fail. But knowledge without action is worthless. Insight without implementation is impotent. Right now, you're at a crossroads. You can close this video and go back to trading the same way, hoping for different results. Einstein called that insanity. Or you can take the first step toward transformation. But first, let me share one final story. Sarah was down to her last $2,000. 3 blown accounts, marriage on the rocks, kids asking why mommy was always angry. She watched this same information you just learned. I almost clicked away, she told me later. Another psychology video. What I needed was money, not therapy. But something made her stay. Maybe desperation, maybe hope. She took the challenge I'm about to give you. 6 months later, she sent me her trading statement. Consistent green. Not huge profits, but consistent. More importantly, her message, I got my life back. My marriage is healing. I'm present with my kids. The money is just a bonus. Your 24-hour trading transformation challenge. Tonight, before you sleep, write your trading mission statement. Not what you want from the market, but who you commit to become. Example, I am a disciplined trader who executes probabilities without emotion, accepts losses without pain, and allows profits to flow without interference. Tomorrow morning, before markets open, execute one trade using probability thinking. Not to be right, to execute your edge. Document your mental state before, during, after. Use this checklist. Am I calm or anxious? Am I focused on being right or executing my system? Am I accepting what the market shows or demanding it conform? Is my stop loss placed and accepted? Am I at peace with any outcome? Tomorrow evening after close, journal using the Douglas method. What did the market mirror back about your psychology? PDF guide linked below. Answer these questions. What emotions did I experience? When did I feel them? What triggered them? How did they affect my execution? What would the disciplined version of me have done differently? In 48 hours, share your breakthrough in our Discord community. First 100 action takers get my Hidden Psychological Levels indicator free. This indicator shows where mass trader psychology creates invisible support and resistance. Powerful? Yes. But useless without the mental framework you just learned. Drop your trading platform below. I'm creating specific tutorials for TradingView, MT4, Thinkorswim, and NinjaTrader. Most votes gets produced first. But here's the real challenge. The 30-day discipline protocol. Week 1, master one rule perfectly, like always using stops. Week 2, add probability journaling, track accuracy, not P&L. Week 3, implement fear inventory, document every fear that arises. Week 4, practice intuition tracking, note hunches, verify accuracy. Not ready for the full challenge? Start with this. Before your next trade, ask yourself one question. Am I trading the market or my emotions? Just ask. Watch what happens. That moment of awareness before clicking the button, that's where transformation begins. But I need to warn you, this journey will cost you everything, every illusion, every excuse, every comfortable lie you tell yourself. The market will strip you bare, revealing who you really are beneath the stories. Some of you aren't ready for that, and that's okay. Save this video. Come back when the pain of staying the same exceeds the pain of change. For those ready now, remember, every master trader was once a disaster trader who refused to give up, but learned to give up what wasn't working. Think about it. Right now, thousands of traders are staring at the same charts you trade. Most will lose, a few will win. The difference isn't the charts, it's what happens between their ears. You now have what Douglas died wishing every trader could have, the roadmap to mental mastery. The question is, will you walk the path? In 1982, Mark Douglas lost everything. If he could see you now, with this knowledge before the losses, what would he say? Don't wait for the market to force you to learn these lessons. Choose to learn them now, while you still have choice. The market opens in a few hours. Who will you be when it does? Your old self, driven by fear, blinded by greed, paralyzed by uncertainty? Or your new self, clear, disciplined, flowing with whatever comes? The market doesn't care, but you should. Take action now, not tomorrow, not next week, now. Comment below, "I'm ready for discipline," and share your biggest breakthrough from this video. Share this with one trader who needs to hear these truths. Sometimes the greatest gift isn't a hot tip, it's a shift in perspective. Subscribe and hit the notification bell. I'm releasing the 21-day Trader Transformation Series next week. Free, powerful, life-changing. Final thought from Mark Douglas himself. The market can't take anything from you that you don't give it. Master yourself, and you master your financial destiny. The disciplined trader chooses wisdom. The choice is yours. Your transformation timeline starts now.